Good morning. It is a beautiful spring day here. I can't stop looking out the window. It's just so gorgeous. I love this time of year. This last weekend, I hit a couple of thrift stores, an estate sale, and junk in your trunk. I can't wait to show you what I found. I have a really beautiful secondhand haul for you today. And this is not what I planned. I've been sick for 2 weeks, so no videos posted. And I did start working on some parenting stuff that will be released next week. But the big video I have coming, hopefully next week, Lord willing, is on my daughter and son-in-law's coffee shop in Idaho. And I was privileged to be a design consultant for that. And I want to show you the whole thing start to finish. I realized that although I've made 2 visits there, now that I'm home, I can't just go photograph something that I am missing. And so I need to get a few more things in place before I can finish that video. Be looking for that next week. If you happen to catch my vanilla extract DIY video, then you've met my friend Regina. She was here for work and we ended up getting a day to go thrift. First thing I found is this vintage ice scoop or ice cream scoop. I am actually going to use it in my ice bucket because it matches, and I have always needed a good size spoon for ice. I don't really like using tongs because I'm impatient and having to pick up 1 cube at a time. No, I just want to scoop it all out. So I really love this. Next up is this pair. If you saw my Christmas How to Give Unique and Inexpensive Gifts by Thrifting, I had found a pair very similar to this. It didn't have a leaf, and I used some rub and buff to give it a more goldy bronze color. I'm probably going to do the same thing with this. Now, the funny thing about that pair is my daughter Rachel saw the video and commented that she loved the pair. And so I knew right away that I needed to wrap it up and take it to her. And it is now sitting in the coffee shop. We used it as part of our styling. So I can't wait to show you that next week. And by the way, I'm not styling anything today. This is so last minute that I realized I'm not going to have the coffee shop video ready, and what can I do? Well, I can show you some great finds. So I'm not sure where this is going to go, but it's definitely going to find a spot on a little table in my bookcase, and I'm looking forward to a little makeover. Now, I saw this piece when Regina and I were in a thrift store, and she picked it up first. And so you guys know the rule. You've got to wait and see, are they going to grab it or are they going to put it back? And so I was watching and she put it in her cart. I was like, okay. And then that evening, she brought me in a little bag with tissue and said, I have a gift for you. And guess what it was? So Regina, I love you. You're very thoughtful. And she took something that she loved and decided to give it to me. And I didn't even tell her in the store that I wanted it or that I liked it. But she knows my style. It has this beautiful kind of sunbeam pattern on the bottom, and I have not seen a picture like this. I apologize, although I am 100% feeling better, you can still hear this cold in my throat. So moving on to the estate sale, I found this little box for $1.25 made of wood, and I love picking up things like this for drawer organizers. I will use plastic when I have to, but I love it when I can find something out of wood or rattan. I want to tell you what was so unique about this estate sale. We just happened to drive by and see signs, and so we pulled over, and this home was immaculate, and every piece in it was vintage or antique. There was no junk, not a single piece of junk. Very rare to even see plastic. There was a little bit of vintage Tupperware from the 50s. I've never seen a home so well curated. Beautiful furniture. The bookcases drew me in immediately. Started looking through all the books, but it was just gorgeous. They were clearly grandparents because they had a lot of vintage toys, including this slinky. Now, this is the old-fashioned kind. This thing is heavy. It's going to go down the stairs really well. And the way they make them now out of plastic, it's a one-use toy, right? They get all tangled up and you're just done. But I am really excited to put this on my bookcase and let my grandchildren find it. Well, I already mentioned the books at this sale. One of the things they had was an end table that was round with openings for books. Oh, it was very, very tempting. I really thought about getting it, and it'd be so fun to stash books in there, but I didn't. I had self-control, walked away. This is Ellery Queen. Beautiful cover. A lovely copy of Heidi. Look at the spine on this. So pretty. And then these two are a set, Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights. And the artwork on the front is really beautiful. The spines are beautiful. And I just can't get enough of old books, especially ones that I have read that I would enjoy reading. Let's check the copyright on this one. 1943. So just a beautiful, beautiful book. So I have 4 vintage books to add to my bookshelf. Now, this book is not vintage, but you could tell that they were probably interested in painting antiques. This is an Annie Sloan painting book. And she is the queen of chalk paint. Really, I don't know that we could say she invented it, but she absolutely made it popular. And this is an entire book on different techniques for painting with chalk paint. Look at this armoire. Isn't that gorgeous? There were so many beautiful things in here. Lovely nightstand. I've been painting furniture since I was a teenager. I started out with folk painting, acrylics, watercolors. It's been a long time since I've painted anything other than furniture, but I'm really excited to actually read this book. Also at this estate sale, I found this beautiful hat, and it has such an interesting detail because the edge is turned up all the way around. And I just thought it gave it such a great look, and it has this leather strap that I think is so sweet. And it fits me, and it will be great down by the river this summer. I couldn't resist this beautiful piece, and I'm going to put this in my collection of brown transferware for the fall. I love especially the edges here, and the pattern is gorgeous. I'm getting down to my last few favorite things, one of them being this beautiful needlepoint pillow. Now, my grandmother needlepointed. In fact, she was an artist, and she would draw canvases for people to then needlepoint. She had a little shop out in her garage, and she did countless needlepoint pillows, rugs. All of our stockings were made from needlepoint, but I absolutely loved this pillow. It's got 2 sizes of stitching, and the pattern is beautiful. The colors are beautiful. So I had to get this. It sits really nicely with a down insert. I don't even know if there's an insert. It's probably just literally stuffed with down. I also wanted to show you this. I didn't get this last weekend. I purchased this probably a year ago, thinking I would put it in the Mark Twain room, which is now being used for other things. But I'm wondering if I can use the 2 of these together downstairs in the living room. I love the pattern on this, the detailing of this fringe edge, and the back is corduroy. I do have a couple of picnic baskets, but I've always wanted one of these rattan ones. I think they're so pretty. And this one I found at Junk in Your Trunk. It happened to be the same day, and we popped up to Springville so that, for one, I could take Regina. I've always wanted her to experience Junk in Your Trunk, but this one is in pretty good condition. Sometimes the insides are completely shredded. This one's a little bent, but it's intact. and all of the outside is intact. There's no breakage at all. The handles work well, and I think I might just style this one for you today. So hang on a minute and I'll show you where I'm going to put it. This is my last item, and this was at the station during Jump in Your Trunk. This sign that says flooded. And I actually saw it the last time I was there, and I've been thinking about it, and fortunately it was still there. And I want to put this outside. If you don't know, our property, we have 10 acres and a river runs right through it long ways, and it's such a beautiful spot. Last year, actually a year ago March, we had a severe flood. Some call it a 100-year flood. We'll probably never see it again, but it brought significant damage and significant beauty. It rerouted the river in spots. It completely took out our lower road, but it brought in a gorgeous sandy beach. So our whole property has changed because of the flood. And so I figured this was a very appropriate sign to put out somewhere. I'm gonna run downstairs and just put a couple of these things away. Thanks for joining me today on The Peaceful Home for this amazing secondhand haul. I wish you could have been at this estate sale with me. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.